so that this would be used for and extended for instance, the banner outside that you may have seen coming in, or for the cover of the catalog, or for any programs where we wanted to use this logo but then have a paler version of the background for text. And then the sections, each section has this, and then the border will be, so this is from a Baltimore album, and the applique section has a piece of applique and so on. So you know what section you're in. And so that's the introductory one right there. And then the labels, one of the challenges is, I know you're supposed to limit yourself to 50 words. Well, don't limit me to 50 words. How can I possibly be limited to 50 words? There's a lot to say about these quilts. And, I mean, for one thing, you're supposed to say something in a label about why is this object in this exhibit? How does it add to this exhibit? Well, this is an exhibit about regional design of quilts of Maryland and Virginia. So I have to say, this is typically Maryland or Virginia because it has these elements. Well, now I've used up my 50 words and I can't tell you anything about the maker. And people want to know about the maker. And then I might have something I want to say about, re-emphasizing the theme of elegance, saying, this fabric and the border of this quilt is the latest design technology, the latest printing technology, or whatever. I may want to point that out. So we ended up with separating it into these sections. And so here it says applique, so you know what section you're in. It's got each section had a slightly different color. You've got a little thumbnail of the quilt that, it's right in front of you, but just to make sure you're oriented in the right place, here's the quilt, here's the title, and the tombstone information. This ended up not being this exact map, but now you have a period map of all the counties of Maryland and Virginia, which includes, of course, what's now West Virginia, because it's an 1820s or 30s map. And we've got the county highlighted in red, so you can see where this quilt is from. Then here we get notes about the design, here we get notes about the maker, here we get notes about the material. And this, in fact, is where, instead of putting too much over here, we said block and roller printed cottons, cotton filling, and backing. The information about the material all goes here. And so this way, you're oriented, and you can totally ignore whatever sections you want to ignore. And if you're only interested in the biographical information, you can home in on maker every time. And then I love just the subtlety of, these are sort of stitches outlining the sections. So I think this was a really brilliant and effective way of allowing us to give people more information if they wanted it, but not overwhelm them if they didn't. And I want to give huge, huge props to our registrarial team, because this is Leo, our preparator. If you go into the gallery, look up. Our ceiling has about 5 different heights and just as many different materials. And our big nail biting throughout the design process was saying, we think that's plaster, we think that's plywood, we think that track lighting can support a screw for the quilt, but we're not totally sure. So, hanging all of these quilts in the middle of the gallery, and one would be on the full ceiling and one would be on the